rocking with the #1 podcast in Flint, Michigan, Flint After Dark. We speak for the streets, hosted by your boy Terrence Sales. We speak for the streets. Welcome to Flint Town City. 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 We speak for the streets.
You're now rocking with Terrence Sale on Flint's #1 online podcast, Flint After Dark. We speak for the streets.
It's your boy, Terrence Sales, a.k.a. Mr. Speak for the Streets, a.k.a. Big T, and you locked in to the #1 podcast in Flint, Michigan, Flint After Dark. We speak for the streets. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Terrence Sales. I got my little bro, my homie. You know what I'm saying? I got Tip on here with me. We're gonna be talking about what we talking about today, Tip?
Multi-generational dysfunction.
Multi-generational dysfunction, man. Shit that need to be addressed, man. Once again, it's always good to have my little homie, my little brother on here with me, man. Make sense of shit, man. You take the lead on this one, brother.
Yes, sir. Good morning, man. Peace to the people. As y'all know, it's your boy TIP. I think this topic is one that a lot of us are aware of it. You know, sometimes the word semantics of what this is about kind of get mixed up, but it's definitely something that I think people are subconsciously, if that makes sense, they're subconsciously more vigilant about than years in the past. Whereas
right.
you may hear people talk about generational curses and things like that.
Right.
Well, like I say, it's a word semantics because I don't use generational curse. I use generational dysfunction. But I understand when a person uses a generational curse, they're talking about the same thing that we're going to address. So
right.
I think it's important because right now people are vigilant and more proactive about, breaking these things, man, and stopping these things. As
Breaking the chain.
Yeah, you hear a lot about in today's, like, yeah, we breaking the generational curse of financial illiteracy. We breaking the generational curse of, generational incarceration, these things and so forth. So I think it's very important that we become, although we are vigilant in today's society, we become more conscious of it, and not only conscious, beginning to allow that consciousness to change and show up in our behavior, bro.
Right. I mean, especially this really need to be addressed in Afro American community. You know what I mean? Like me and you always discussed before. We don't take shit as serious as we should. You know what I mean? And like you say, that generational curse or whatever they want to say and all that, it fall, you know what I mean? It fall a little bit harder. You know what I'm saying? In our culture, man. And like I say, like you say, it needs to be addressed, man, because so African Americans don't take a lot of shit serious, man, as we should, man.
And,
So, you know what I mean?
I look at it like this, big bro, is something I learned from studying Dr. Frances Cress Wilson. May she rest in power. Is something she always said is, if you want to solve any problem, you have to understand the causation.
Okay.
So when we talk about causation, we look at the causes. What causes generational dysfunction? You feel what I'm saying? That's the big question. Like, what causes the dysfunction for generations? And it goes always back, man, to Do you
Shit, I think. Hey,
institutions?
bro, not to cut you off.
Hmm.
I think, shit, the causes you know what I mean. What fuckers need to get more counseling. You know what I mean. You need to, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. Need more counseling on certain stuff that we illiterate to. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
So
Ignorant to. That's why I used the wrong word. That we ignorant to.
right.
You know
So
what I'm saying.
let's talk about that.
Right.
How trauma, right?
Yep.
Something Dr. Joy DeGruy, she's a man, great woman, man. Dr. Joy DeGruy, man. Check her out, man. You can YouTube
Okay.
her or whatever. But she talks about post-traumatic slave syndrome.
Okay.
As opposed to a lot of people talk about post-traumatic stress syndrome. She talks about post-traumatic slave syndrome, and
Okay.
it really educates and elaborates. She educates and elaborates on how um, we have well, kind of a lot of things that our ancestors went through was passed down through what they call epigenetics.
Right.
So
Right.
for instance, um, like uh, you know, our people growing up during chattel slavery, or we'll say even during the Jim Crow. My grandmother, man, she was born in 30s and the 40s, so she lived in the time during the Jim Crow. So some of the practices and the behaviors that they had and they adapted out of survival was passed down to us. You know what I'm saying? And we have to understand now we're at a different time, but it's the same old thing. It's just a different time and putting things in its context. So, for instance, um, I was reading up on my family history, and my grandmother's grandmother, which would be my great great grandmother, she said, and it was a quote that she said, "You have to whoop black children in order to keep them in line." And today, when you hear that, you're like, damn, that sounds like fucking slavery. That's what the slave masters did to the slaves to keep them in line. You know what I'm saying? Who wants to go like Kunta Kinte? We all know who Kunta Kinte is. They will whip him ass to try to buck break, and they'll try to break you to keep you in line. So
Dis discipline. Discipline. Right. Disciplinary. Right. That's why people got that from. Cause my
right,
generation, bro. Like I'm one generation over you. Our generation, nigga, we got beat like slaves.
shit, I
When,
got
when you
beat.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. And when you think about what that does to someone psychologically, you know what I'm saying? You like, well, I remember my grandma. Listen, my grandma, man, my grandma was, man, one of the most beautifulest persons, souls I ever encountered. But I probably got a whooping a couple times. But when she
Right.
did discipline you or punish you, they would do things like go outside and get a switch. So
Right.
psychologically, I'm like, you want
Yeah.
me to go get the weapon that you gonna whoop my ass with?
Right. You know what?
What?
Right. Hey, not to cut you off, bro. Me and LP, we was just talking about that the other day. It's a mind thing because you got to go out there and pick your own switch. Then you don't
Right.
want to take no little switch in the house because you know she gonna be upset. But then you don't want to take no big switch in the house, so you trying to find a medium switch. You know what I'm saying? And that, like you said, that in itself you know what I mean? Is punishment. You
It's
going to get
punishment.
your own the weapon of choice that you finna get whooped with. You know?
Think about that. We don't really think about it in depth when we're younger because we don't understand it. But
Right.
like going back to what my great grandmother, great great grandmother was saying is I understand what she meant. You know, they were living in the time it was fear. You know what I'm saying? If I don't get my kid in line and discipline them, when master and these white folks get them, they gonna kill them or you gonna be in
Right.
jail. So I understand it by putting it in its historical context. But now we living in a time where it's time to break that. Now we ain't no fucking slaves like that. You know what I'm saying? Although we still are, but we're not at that thing. So we breaking that shit down. We obliterating and eradicating, you know what I'm saying, the thoughts and the actions behind,
Hey,
punishing like that.
hey, bro. The piggyback off what you just said about um but what you saying? Like I better get them in line for master kill them or whatever. It'd be the same like nowadays. That's what I'm saying about the parenting skills. You know what I mean? The disciplinary at home before before they go out the street and get killed by one of these motherfuckers, by the police or just by another black person, period, or whoever. You don't get them in line. Like me and LPG was saying, I was like, I mean, I don't mean to get in my kids' business, but motherfuckers parents need to start raiding their rooms like the feds, the ATF, man. Raid that motherfucker. See what they got in that book bag before they leave the house. See, but they gonna do what they gonna do because you don't know what they got around the corner here or whatever. But on your end, I know we went off a little subject a little bit, but on your end, bro, you know what I mean, raid their ass like the feds, man. You know what I mean? Because I know that's kind of like invading privacy or whatever, but it's, you know what I mean? You don't want no bullshit coming back to your home. You don't know what kids do. Because I know, bro, I used to have a stash around the corner, man, I leave the crib, I put on, my mama didn't want me wearing certain type of shoes. And I had me a bad stash in my boy's shed in the backyard. I walked to school with it. I had my little pistol, little 22 pistol in there. I had my Timberlands my mama didn't want me to wear. You know what I mean? I had my before I go back home, I put all that shit back up. So I know how kids can get down because I was once a kid. And you know what I
Yeah,
mean? But I'm just saying, like you said, before Master killed these motherfuckers, we gotta get them in line. Same thing pertaining to this day. You know what I mean? I just say, I think parents are just soft nowadays. Too. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. I might be wrong. I see a lot of passive shit, man, and a lot of females I have relationships with. I done went through a lot of step kids, bro. I done had my own kids too, but I done went through a lot of. I don't agree with how passive they is with their kids, man. Then the first, oh my baby, when you get the phone call, you laid out, 15-year-old laid out in the middle of Cloud Road, dead. You know, I tried to tell you, you was too passive. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And it
yeah.
just, man, it just,
I
um,
think,
go
I
ahead, brother.
think, bro. It's a real thin line, man. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a struggle we all struggle with. You know what I'm saying? Like, we, we got to pay attention to our children. We have to give them a voice. We have to be involved in their lives. A lot of children are suffering from that, man. They don't get the attention at home. They don't get. Their father might not be there. He might be incarcerated. He might be murdered. He might be dead. You know what I'm saying? He might be not a no good ass father. You know what I'm saying? Or the mother could be toxic. So I think it's many different elements. It's unfortunate, but it takes a village. You know what I'm saying? But it started as individuals. And we have to be more cognizant and more involved in our children's lives because we know our kids, we know their personality, we know what they're capable of.
Hey, hey, Tip, it definitely take a village. I had somebody on last night. I was talking about parenting skills and stuff like that, and like they said, you gonna get a whooping by Mr. Johnson up the street, Miss Betty across the street from there, and then when you get home, it takes a village, like
It
you
take
say, it take a village, man, and we don't have that nowadays because you got motherfucker funky ass, excuse my English, CPS got motherfuckers scared because they in your business. If you put a fingernail on them motherfuckers, CPS gonna put they two, you know what I'm saying? Put they 2 cent in on what's going on, man. You know what I mean? Which I think that's it wrong, man. You know what I mean? That
not only not only
you can't touch
CPS.
these motherfuckers, man.
It's not only CPS. You know, it's toxic ass parents and family members and friends as well. You know
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying?
Yes, sir. Uncle,
You got
hey,
you,
what's that motherfucker you say? Tip, Uncle Rufus. You got
Uncle
you
Rufus,
got
Uncle
Uncle Rufus
Leroy.
touching the kids. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
you got many different you got, you know what I'm saying? You got uncles that's gonna teach you the game because that's what they
Right.
know and
Oh
they
yeah.
love you. So they gonna teach.
Right.
My uncles taught me the game. They taught me how to
Yes, sir.
survive in the streets
Yes,
and in the
sir.
penitentiary. But that's what they knew, and they only can pass down. See, inherently we gonna pass things down to our families and our loved ones and the places that's close, people that's closest to us, whether that's negative or positive. So if I'm a toxic person, I'm gonna pass down toxicity. If I'm a positive person, I'm gonna pass down these positive qualities and traits that later on in life, these the person or the persons I'm passing it down to can say, damn, I was taught this, and they can implement it and be positive as well. Or it can be vice versa. Like I say, it can be negative. So I think it's a balance. Like Becky said, Becky Brown, like we got to find a healthy balance with raising our children. And I think that healthy balance is different for different people. But most of it, bro, I can almost agree. We can almost agree, and we can almost come to a consensus that most of it, when we dealing with these disobedient children, comes from lack of fathers, man. Fatherless homes where you got the mother who has to do everything. It's only 24 hours in a day. A mother have to work 8 to 12 hours, get the kids ready for school, ensure that they have a positive day, make sure they eat. You know what I'm saying? Watch them, find a babysitter, do all this and that with no help. It becomes stressful. So some of the little
Hey,
things she
hey,
might
hey,
not be
Tip.
able to do.
Hey, brother, I'm glad you said that. The street I grew up on, all my homeboys, they mom and dad was married. I
Hmm.
was a project. I was a product of a single mom. But I seen my dad on the weekends. But Monday through Friday, I ain't had no dad. And believe it or not, I was the only one on the street that didn't have no dad. I ain't want for shit neither though. But I didn't have no dad in the home. Everybody else, all my homies had had a dad in the home, man. They either went to when we left the street, they either went to the military or they went to college. Um, not saying not saying that if you don't have a father at home, you can't do good. But I went to the street. You know what I mean? I got a homeboy, uh, Ulysses, man. He's a doctor now.
Hmm.
And when he heard my story, he thought I was lying because our street that we grew up on was a decent street and decent people. And I had to break it down to him. I said, man, y'all had y'all dads in the home. I didn't have a dad in the home, man. My mama gave me my choice at 17. She said, either you can abide by my rules or you can get your stuff and go. And I grabbed my garbage bag and I went to the streets. Y'all went to college, the military, and all this other shit. And I'm pretty sure y'all dads played a factor in this. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And so that's real important, man, too.
Yeah,
Having a
and then
having a man in the
and
home. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But you know what I'm saying?
and this the thing. Like some people did have uh good parents in their homes.
Right.
I mean, I ain't gonna say good. Some people did have both parents or whatever in the home, but
Right.
that don't necessarily equate to
That
success.
you're
Why?
right. They
Because you
still
can be
hey Tip,
a,
hey Tip, they still became pieces of shit.
yeah,
Go
a
ahead, brother.
parent.
Go
A
ahead.
parent, a parent can be there, but not be there. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I get you.
saying? A parent could be there presently, physically. He can physically be there, but not emotionally or psychologically or mentally be there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? For a mother too. So
Right.
it's that it's
Correct.
that balance. And
Correct.
majority of the time when you have that right balance of father and a mother or that energy, you know what
Right.
I'm saying? It don't even have to be your father or your mother. It's that motherly energy, that
Right.
fatherly energy. That's what
Right.
people got to understand. The title. You know what I'm saying? We get caught up in titles. And I think us subconsciously, when we hear the title mother or the title father, we reverence a certain respect, but not knowing that the mother and the father is their energy. You look at dogs, right? Animals. We look at animals. They are instinctual. You know what I'm saying? They don't have intelligence. They off instinct and they learn, right? But that energy of the mother, why would the puppies, the pups, cubs, whatever, you know what I'm saying, from whatever animal, why do they have that will, that desire to be under that mother? Because it's the energy that they recognize. You know what I'm saying? Energy, it's something you can't measure, you can't see the energy. So I think it's that energy. Like some people have motherly figures You know what I'm saying? They wasn't their physical, biological mother, but they had that motherly energy that they gave them, or the father energy that they gave them. And once you got that, it can come in the form of a coach, a counselor, a friend, a family. It don't, you know what I'm saying? There's no, you can't put no book on it. So I think that's important. I think that's one reason. But I, like when we talk about generational dysfunction, it goes beyond poverty. You know what I'm saying? Back then when I, was kind of growing up, it was, you get your education, you go to school, you get a job. You know what I'm saying? Or in this day and age, it ain't like that. People, these young individuals, they want to become entrepreneurs. They want to become owners. You know what I'm saying? Education is important, and education don't mean going to school getting a degree. That just means you get educated on whatever it is you may do. You know, so
All
back
that shit is
then,
a piece of paper, man.
yeah,
Shit, you
back
know what I
then
mean?
they would elders, they would dictate your path. Like Joe Jackson, he beat his kids to damn success. He beat them. He
Exactly,
dictated their path. Who
exactly.
said who said Michael Jackson wanted to become a singer, but
Right.
he was
He
forced to sing.
groomed them to
He
what he wanted
groomed
them to
him,
be.
and shit, he and Michael Jackson loved it because he had a talent for it. But and it's another thing like staying in bad marriages. I hear and see this all the time where they talk about how the grandmothers and the grandfathers used to be a player. He was a Rolling Stone, and grandma dealt with it. Well, this is 2021. Motherfuckers is excuse me, ain't nobody dealing with that bullshit. You feel what I said? Like, ain't nobody staying in them toxic ass relationship or marriage because you want to make it work for the kids or something like that. You got to be held accountable. That's another dysfunction that we pass down. Whereas our men feel like, they can do any and everything, and a woman's supposed to accept it and deal with it, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? That's another dysfunction. Man, it's time that we respect and revert one another. You feel what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that. I really believe that naturally, we men, just our energy, we created to, biologically, we're created to probably have more than one woman. You get what I'm saying? And we all have had that. You know what I'm saying? We have had girlfriends, not a girlfriend. We have girlfriends. You feel what I'm saying? So I believe naturally, biologically, we're created as men to do that. But emotionally and spiritually, bruh, I don't know how. Well, I do know how. But trying to balance that, multiple women, bro, that's a headache. Am I lying?
Hell yeah, it's a big headache.
It's a headache. You gotta keep doing this and doing that and doing that. And emotionally, we're not stable. We're not emotionally and psychologically stable for that because we gotta lie. You know what I'm saying? We got to continue to remember the lies we came up with, or we got to play this side and not play that side. And women, they get jealous, they get territorial. You know what I'm saying? Man, we possessors, we want to conquer things. Women are territorial, they're emotional. Oh, you was with that bitch. You was with her. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's, emotionally and psychologically, it's really hard to do that. But, you know, we can't stay in these toxic relationships and thinking that that's the way to do, man. Sometimes you gotta get the hell on, or you're gonna continue to suffer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Sometimes we gotta get the hell on. I mean, everything in life is temporarily. Shit, you know what I mean? It's gonna end one day. We all gonna go see the maker one day. Everything temporarily. So I totally agree with you, especially when you're in a toxic over. I call it an overspill relationship.
Yeah, yeah.
The
When you in a
toxic
toxic
juices, then
situation,
hey,
you
the
you
toxic
definitely
juices,
gotta
hey, tip
you gotta
the
dive
toxic
in that
juices
man
then
because
overspill. You know what I'm saying? Now it's
it ain't
harming
gonna be
other
healthy.
people.
It ain't gonna be good for you or the other person.
Nah, it ain't gonna be good
That's
in
why
the long
I'm
run.
big on the mental health. You feel what I'm saying? I'm big on that. Far as getting ourselves together, because we all are dealing with trauma, man. We all are dealing with things that hold us
Yeah,
back.
man,
So
man.
I'm big on,
Mental health a bad
that's how
motherfucker.
we eradicate and correct this dysfunction that we inherited or that we learned. You know what I'm saying? So I'm big on that mental health. It ain't just about uh going to see a therapist. You feel me, big bro?
Yeah, hell yeah. You know, man, you
You
didn't
still
discuss
there?
that. You know, we didn't discuss, huh? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, bro?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Man,
Can you hear me? Yo, yo. I don't know what happened.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? I don't know what happened. Can you hear me, bro? Yo, yo. You hear me now?
Let's go.
Yeah, we lost connection, man. We was discussing a lot of good shit, man. I don't know what happened. Maybe go out.
Can you hear
Let me
me?
go. I'll take you out and come back in. Hold on. Hold on. I'll come. We'll wait and see if Tip will come back in. You know what I'm saying? Uh, we'll see what's going on.
You're now rocking with Terrence Sale on Flint's #1 online podcast, Flint After Dark. We speak for the streets.
It's your boy, Terrence Sales, a.k.a. Mr. Speak for the Streets, a.k.a. Big T, and you locked in to the #1 podcast in Flint, Michigan, Flint After Dark. We speak for the streets.
Tip. Hello. Tip ain't come back on yet. We was having a good conversation, man. Um, shit. Until he come back on, I want to talk about the organization Everybody Eats, man. We'll be going to Kentucky, man. Mayfield, Kentucky, man. People has. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. Hold up.
Somebody
Can you hear me, bro?
I hear you.
You
You
hear
hear
me?
me? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just went to commercial break. Wait, I took you off the screen,
Okay.
and so you come back on. I went to
Yeah,
commercial
no.
break. Yeah, like we was saying, like you said, you big on that mental health and
Hmm.
getting help about it. And we talked about it a lot of times, and totally agree, man. Because people, especially in the African American, they think that mental health is mean cuckoo up one flew over the cuckoo nest, man. Me and you already broke it down. You got different aspects of it. Cause I got mental health. Shit, I go through depression 2 or 3, 4
Hmm.
times a year, man. You know what I'm saying? I done called you like, little bro, I'm going through it. You know what I mean? You didn't gave me my pointers. So, but I'm far from crazy. So mental health ain't that you got different capacities, man. You got people that take meds for mental health. You got people that take therapy for mental health. That need therapy for mental health. And you got people that just deal with it. You know what I mean? So
That's
I totally agree with you, man, when it comes to that. And
that leads to the dysfunction, bro.
right,
You know what I'm
there you
saying?
go. That leads to the
That leads to
dysfunctional.
that makes the dysfunction
Right,
because you know when you talking about the dysfunction, all of it has to do with the unresolved issues that causes the dysfunction or people become maladaptive, right? They start to develop these maladaptive behaviors and thoughts and shit because of what they've been through. You feel what I'm saying? Like in relationships, a person can get hurt. A person can have a so-called heart broken, right? So
right,
now, from that time forth, henceforth, guess what they start doing? They start not giving a fuck. You
right.
feel what I'm saying? Instead
Yeah,
of addressing the issue that's at the core, they put they basically put gasoline on the fire. You know what I'm saying? You not healing. You not healing the situation. You only perpetuating it. perpetuating
You,
because
you
you're
ain't
not
making no.
dealing with
Hey, you ain't making no situation no better. You throwing water on the grease fire.
because now you know what I'm saying, you don't remove your feelings and your, you know what I'm saying, out of it just to get what you want, and that's toxic. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say the dysfunction of everything, man, in all areas of human of how we survive as human beings. You know what I'm saying? It's 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 issues that we need to address, bro, and that's where the dysfunction come at. And
Correct.
being able to unlearn and relearn some new things is everything, and that's what we have to do, man. That's how we address the dysfunction. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Or the generational curses of of the things that's prevalent in our community, like mass incarceration. You know what I'm saying? My family, shit, we got generations of incarceration, starting from my granddaddy on down. You feel what I'm saying? Now, how do we break that dysfunction?
Right.
First, we become conscious of it. Like, damn, this ain't normal. Everybody, every male, you know what I'm saying, from my grandfather or grandmother, whatever. All of us we gotta, go to prison, even though we know the system is in place. So being vigilant and becoming aware of how the system functions, and now you can develop a plan to defeat it. Oh, okay. I know I need to be present in my son's or whoever life. I know we need to focus on some positive things. I know I need to get them some skills so when they going through some shit, they know how to, be positive about it and find some proper resolutions. You know what I'm saying? That's what
Hey,
I'm saying.
hey,
That's the generational dysfunction that
hey,
I'm
hey,
talking about.
hey, Till, we got somebody on here, Becky Brown. She said, "How can a person address an issue when they are unaware of their issue?"
You can't.
That's a good. That's
You
a good
I
question.
just I just said that you have to be aware of it. For if you're not
Right.
aware of it, that's
Right.
like if you go to substance abuse counseling or drug counseling, right? If you don't feel you have a problem, how the hell can you address it? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
got to be aware,
You
and
got
it's
it right. You got
unfortunate.
to be aware of the problem.
And,
Right. To
and,
fix it. Right.
and it's, some
Right.
people don't want to be fixed. Some people don't know that. Some people don't know that they need to
So
be
people
fixed.
don't know they broken.
Yeah, and some
Yeah.
people don't want to be, because sometimes it's power in being a victim. People like to play victim because it gets them things, attention. It gets them, you know what I'm saying? You got, man, we need attention. We need that. It's human. You know what I'm saying? We need different things, right? So sometimes when people have been victimized, remaining in that victim, role gives them the attention and the things that they need. So they remain there. They don't feel no need to grow. Why should I grow when I get the attention being a victim? You understand what I'm saying? So it's definitely, you definitely have to be aware. But for those who are aware and those who feel like they know that they need to make a difference in their lives and the people lives who they are, you know dealing with every day, you got to address the dysfunction. I mean, the dysfunction of having certain thoughts. We've been socialized. You feel what I'm saying? Even when you talk about mental health, I hear people talk about depression is laziness. People need to snap out of it. Man, you acting kind of crazy, bro. Man, you know what I'm saying? It's other people who got it worse than you. Man, suck it up. Life is hard. Man, stop being dramatic. Man, you choosing to feel like this. That's what mental health stigma sound like. That's a dysfunction that we have to break. And we got to learn a way to communicate to these people positively and give them positive energy so that they can work on some things.
Hey man, like you said, man, life is hard, man. Um,
Def-
I don't give a fuck. Even the strongest motherfuckers break down eventually, man. It ain't about breaking down. It's about long as you don't fold or break. But I mean, even you know what I mean. Like when I went to prison, man. When I finally got
Even if you do,
when I finally got by myself, I broke down, man. I cried because I felt my kids. I had teenage kids, man, and I felt them. I failed them. I'm sorry, I was saying the wrong word. I failed them, and how they always say, they'll never ever see another man see you sweat. I couldn't cry in front of no niggas. So when I finally got to where I was by myself, man, I broke down, man. Right in prison, man. Right on Ryan Road, man. Ryan Correctional Facility, man. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't ashamed to say it. And everybody got their breaking point, man. long as you don't fold, man. And even the strongest, man, life hard, man. And
Shit.
you know what I
Even if
mean? It don't make you no lesser than a man to show emotion, man. So, I just want to put that out there. Um, life hard, like you say, man. You know what I mean? That don't mean you weak neither. So, I'm saying, life hard, man.
but
Shit.
even if you fall, as long as you got life, you got a chance to make it right.
Yeah,
You know what
correct.
I'm saying? You got a chance to make it right.
Yeah, it's about yeah, right. It ain't about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you get back up, brother. You know what I mean? And I'm a strong believer in that. Long as, like you say, long as we got breath and we still breathing on God's green earth, we got a chance, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying? When it's over, it's over. Hey, Tip, when it's over, bro.
yeah, when it's only over when they
Yeah,
put
it's
that
only
dirt
over
on
when the maker say it is.
it.
You know what I mean? So
I wish I could have been on last night about them relationships,
yeah,
man.
what happened was LP, I had hit you. And
Yeah,
I
I was
figured, I said, well, he probably going to probably be about 12, after 12 for Tip got back with me. So I had put my phone on Do Not Disturb. And when I jumped, and when I went and did that show, then when I jumped back on, you was like, what time, bro? I said, well, I just get with Tip in the morning, man. We'll do some other something else. So, yeah, that was deep. One we did last night about the relationships, the toxicity in the relationships. LPZ broke it down real good. He said that's his specialty. So he said he done fucked up so many relationships before in his life. He was expert at it and shit. That shit was funny in the motherfucker when he said that shit. But
I say this, bro.
right,
A lot of people, a lot of us, we be trauma bonding, bro.
right.
We be trauma bonding. You know what I'm saying? We get with people, we get in these relationships. You know what I'm saying? We expect the other person to fix, save, and validate your whole existence. That's trauma bonding. You know what I'm saying? Because can't nobody else, do that but you. If you get with somebody and you thinking, oh, they gonna fix me, they gonna save me, that that's why the term "don't save." She don't want to be saved. I look at that much deeper than what some people may look at it as. I understand what they're saying. That from a I guess from a deeper psychological understanding is you can't fix, save, or validate nobody else's existence. You know what I'm saying? They only can do that for themselves. And when you come into a relationship thinking, especially for men and women, but when women thinking, oh, he can save me financially or whatever, spiritually or emotionally, you know what I'm saying? That's you looking for a trauma bond. You ain't looking for no real relationship. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a cold way you broke it down, brother. Trauma
Yeah.
bond. I like that. Hey man, to unrelated shit, I see that chick, Kim Potter, gonna take the stand today. You remember the ex white police officer, the lady she supposed to been grabbing her taser. She killed Dante Wright.
Yeah, yeah, I
I just
remember.
seen the news. I just seen the news flash. She supposed to take the stand today. You know what I'm saying? Um, Me and Trill the other day was talking about that. Trill magazine. Shout out to Trill. He was he asked me a question. He was like, "So did she by her doing what she did she did she mess up because she shot a black man, or did she mess up as a civil servant police officer?" And I had to think about what he was saying, and I said, I think she just fucked up as a police officer. I don't want to put the race card in there, but
It's,
I just say she fucked up as a police officer. Grabbed
it's
the wrong,
one.
you know what I mean?
Is
So
one A and one B. It's one A because as a civil servant officer, as a human being, you know what I'm saying? To devalue another life, that's devilish. When you become a
right,
devalue, and the only reason she devalued his life, I mean, to not know the difference between a gun and a taser, that is on my. I
that's
understand
ridiculous. Yeah,
the
she
weight
fucked
of
up.
it. Yeah. So I'm saying, you know, first and foremost, from a humanitarian standpoint, you're
Right.
devaluing a person. And the reason you're devaluing this person, because let's be honest, we live in a world, he's a person of color. He's a person of
Mhm.
color. I done seen, We done seen videos of white men with weapons. You feel what I'm saying? Attack the police and not be shot and killed.
That's
And then
right there.
you got some instances where they do, kill non-people. Get that out your mouth. Non-people of color. But in her instance, bro, it was both of them, one A and one AB. Because at
Right,
the end of the
correct.
day,
Yeah, it was right, correct. I agree.
she
I
fucked
agree with you.
she fucked up as a human being for one, and as a human being, as a civil servant, and you only did that shit because he was a person of color, and you criminalized him before you can even give him his just due. So that's what I feel like.
Yeah, you're right. It was a combination of both. You know what I
Combination of both.
mean? I totally agree with you. And I just hope they get it right, man, because she fucked up, man. I
I
don't
can
give a
get.
fuck.
I'm
You
gonna
know
be
what I mean?
real. What man? I don't know, bro. Just my personal opinion is, it's like my personal opinion is like we say we want justice, but justice, what does justice really look like? Getting it right looks like. Getting it right look like to me is eradicating these fucking policies in the jurisdiction, in the power, in the system of how they police. You know what I'm saying? Eradicating that shit and putting in some real just laws, some equality, some equity into that institution. You feel what I'm saying? That's justice to me. Getting her convicted or going to jail, that ain't no damn justice. We can't bring Dante Wright back.
Can't bring them
It,
back. That's right.
yeah, it may feel good, and you know what I'm saying. That ain't justice. That's just
It's
that's just nature takes in its course. You
what they
get in
call
there,
it. That's temporary satisfaction.
yeah,
You know what
that's
I mean? Like you say, it ain't gonna bring them back.
and
Um,
he ain't the first, and he won't be the last person.
no, he won't be
That's
the last. No, he ain't the first, and he won't be the last. But um, like
that's
like
man.
like I mean, you know what I mean? What I meant by get it right, I
I'm
mean, you know
saying
what I
I ain't
mean?
saying about you. I'm saying this for everybody in general.
Right. Like that Carl Wittenhouse situation.
Come on, bro.
He definitely didn't get that right. I
That
don't give a
motherfucker.
fuck if he killed the Chinese. Why I know a lot of people ain't really give a fuck because he killed another white man. Well, he killed two
Listen,
white males,
no,
but
no,
I
no,
don't
no,
give
no,
a
no,
fuck about that.
no.
It my whole
Listen,
point was this. Hold on, Tip. My whole point was this. If I go out, I'm a black man, and go kill two other black men, they sending my black ass to jail. I don't give a fuck. I want the same shit for his ass. He go out, kill two white men, take his ass to jail. They go, that was not self defense, man. No type
listen.
of way in the fucking world. You
The
know what I mean?
only listen. Somebody asked what was the difference between him and the school shooter in Oxford. And
Okay,
this is my take on it.
okay.
This is my take on it.
I've been
That
I've been
young
waiting to get into this conversation with you about this. Come on with it.
the young white terrorist that murdered those kids in Oxford school, the reason he was demonized to the extent he was is for one is because it was horrific. It was a horrific crime, and anytime you have something like that happen, it has to be addressed, right? You know what I'm saying? People just can't let that go. But for two, he killed innocent children. It's more specifically in a middle, might be a upper class. I would definitely say a suburban area white school, predominantly white school. And when I say white, I don't mean the color white. You know what I mean when I say white. In
Yes, sir.
a privileged educational institution. He did that. So those kids were part of that privilege. You know what I'm saying? Beyond the fact that they were human beings. But when Kyle Rittenhouse, he killed looters, he killed thugs who were there. That's what
Yeah,
they said. He,
he was at a protest. Exactly.
no,
It's
no,
not no
no.
difference.
He was there to protect.
Okay.
It's a difference. He was there to, so the people he killed, he was protecting property in the city and
Right.
things for those looters who were just protesting the shooting of a unarmed black man.
Right.
So they were already out of line from being
They're
there.
already out of
So
pocket. They was
so
already out
for
of pocket.
being their looters in their mind, that's how they look at it. So they had
Yeah,
no value.
but check this out, Tip. Okay. He was 17-year-old kid. They say his mama
Don't
dropped him
matter.
off at the hookup. What I'm getting at, she should have been she should have been charged too. Cause let Keisha take her son with a gun and drop him off somewhere, and he kill up a bunch of people or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They gon' now, you know what I'm saying? Now you 17. Where your mom at? Where your daddy at? They gon' oh, my mama dropped me off. She
Let's
gonna be charged too.
Man,
You know
they
what I
got
mean?
privilege. They got privilege. It's
Yeah,
white
yeah, right,
privilege
right. You got
first
that
and
white privilege card. Yeah, yes,
and not
sir.
only that, like I said, the people who they murdered and the reason they were there is justified in the white eyes and the white mind. I don't mean,
Right,
you know what
exactly.
I'm saying? I mean the institution, the system, the mind frame. It was justified because these people were out of line. They were looters. They were troublemakers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They bucking, they going against the system. So they don't have no value. We gonna devalue them on
Yeah.
bail by calling them looters. But them kids were innocent young kids.
Yeah, exactly. It was in yeah. As far as the Oxford shooter goes, man, I think his parents are pieces of shit. I'm glad they charged their ass. The whole family in jail. You know what I mean? And I don't know how that situation gonna play out, but
They gonna do a they probably do a
that
couple
was just
years.
some senseless ass bullshit, man. It seemed like to me they set dog up for failure, man. Seemed like they set their son up for failure, man. You know what I
They did.
mean? It just you know what I mean? It just seemed like to me. They didn't know it was gonna blow back on their ass though. But it
No,
did.
I would say the whole system failed those kids, man, that was murdered, and the kids that were murdered
Yeah. They was
had
at
to live
school trying
with.
to get education.
They got failed by the systems. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't they got failed on
I
all
look at it
levels.
like this though, Tip. The school was liable for that shit because they had a
I
that
already know.
morning
Yeah, I
that
already
morning they
know.
had a conference, bro. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna give you an example. My nephew in Dallas. This same week, bro. This says ironic. LPZ son. He threatened. He go to some white school in some school in somewhere in the outskirts of Dallas. So it's not inner city, but it's somewhere around there. He go to a good school. He threatened. He told them motherfuckers he was gonna do this and that, which is a terrorist threat. He didn't have no weapons or nothing. He called my nephew like, Mr. Clemens, can you please come get your son? Kicked him off for 3 days, no questions asked, like they was supposed to. So that Oxford shooting guy, he was writing pictures of bullets with blood falling down. He even threatened motherfuckers. They sent them back to class, bro. That's that privilege. If you'd have been Afro American doing that, they would have sent them home. That I don't want to pull the race card out, but the same week, the
man.
same
Well,
week, that
man,
shit happened. You know what I'm saying?
don't apologize for pulling it. It is what it is.
Right.
Hey, bro,
Yeah, it is, man.
we lived
And that
in
was
a
so
racist
ironic
society.
that happened the same week, man. It happened the same week that my great nephew got expelled from school for threats. You know what I mean? And this motherfucker was doing the same thing. He outlived. You know what I'm saying? He did what he said he was gonna do. He was never supposed to go back in class, man. When they had that conference, he supposed to went home with his parents. We'll see you tomorrow, Mr. Such and Such, or next week, or whatever the fuck may have it. Yeah, man. I say the school is liable too, man. They fucked them kids' life up, man, by putting that terrorist, like you said, that common terrorist back into that school with them kids, man. That was
They
fucked up,
definitely
man.
listen.
So
Everybody involved in that failed.
yeah,
This is what it
everybody
is.
involved in that, man.
His his
That's a fucked up situation, bro. But
his
I'm
parents
glad
failed
they
him.
handled like they did. Everybody in jail, and they need. And like I always say, I hope they get 150 years plus a day. But we know that ain't gonna happen.
I don't
But
think that I don't think the parents should get all that time, to be honest. I mean, they
I
didn't
I
they was
do, bro.
I'm gonna tell you that I'm saying they were negligent, but they
Yeah,
shouldn't
there
get
you go.
at,
There
at
was
the
definitely negligent. Yeah,
but at the end of the
definitely.
day, they didn't do that shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, they didn't
True and
carry it out. But it was a
true
lot
and
of
deep.
shit pointing
Yeah.
towards the thing like they was encouraging them, man. It just seemed like to
Uh,
me,
uh,
you know what
I
I'm saying?
mean, and yeah, of course. I mean, shit. It was people encouraging me to do criminal activity. I mean, they should have went to
Right,
prison. But
right,
I'm
right.
saying I'm saying the daddy definitely should get more time than the mom, because
Okay.
who buys a handgun
Right.
for a
Right.
14-year-old kid?
Yep. Yep. Right. He definitely. He definitely. Right.
And
But
listen, you know your children. You know what
right.
you know what they're capable of. If
Better
you really
know.
know, if you know what I'm saying, you know what your kid capable of. Like
Yeah.
if somebody called me and told me some shit, you might be in disbelief, but you know if your kid did
Yeah.
that shit or
Capable
not.
of pulling that out. Right.
So the
Whatever
father
he's accused of. Right.
and the mother,
Um.
she had knowledge of that.
Yeah.
She
Hey,
had
Tilt,
knowledge of
man.
it.
We running out of time, man. Let me get some closing remarks, man, on everything we discussed today, brother.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Closing remarks is, we all have to challenge ourselves, and remove some of the dysfunctions that kind of keep us, halted in our everyday life. And, we got to normalize, our healing process. You know, you got to normalize feeling responsible to help yourself and other, your immediate family members heal. You know, you just gotta have you really gotta feel the responsibility to do it and want to do it and unlearn some things and learn some new things. And don't be afraid to go, you know, to go outside of your norms. And maybe you need to go talk to somebody, a profession that can help you, that can give you some tools and things, some insights that you can use to better your life, and you can live a more healthier lifestyle. And I think that's it, man. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to focus on to eradicate some of this dysfunction in our relationships, man. And that's what it is, man.
Man, you know what I'm gonna say, bro. Stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe, smoking mirrors bullshit, man. We need to do better. We need to do better, man. Shit, man. The hood gotta say the hood, man. Once again, bro, it's always good. On doing these topics with you, man. And I appreciate you for coming on, man. And we out of here.
All right, man.
Peace.
Peace.
You now rocking with the #1 podcast in Flint, Michigan. Flint After Dark. We speak for the streets. Hosted by your boy Terrence Sales. We speak for the streets. Welcome to Flint Town City. 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 We speak for the streets.
You're now rocking with Terrence Sale on Flint's #1 online podcast, Flint After Dark. We speak for the streets.
It's your boy, Terrence Sales, a.k.a. Mr. Speak for the Streets, a.k.a. Big T, and you locked in to the #1 podcast in Flint, Michigan, Flint After Dark. We speak for the streets.